Welcome, everyone, to the introduction to navigating life changes with compassion. And I'm so honored and grateful to be here today with Monique Giard. And we will be co-leading a workshop next Tuesday from 5 to 7 p.m. Pacific time. And that is the 28th of July. And it's so interesting the way the idea came about this workshop. I was actually looking at, I'm a former athlete and I have a Facebook page, Tao Calligraphy Field for Athletes. And I was checking in comments and I saw a comment about how the Olympic Committee has decided to offer support for athletes when they make their make the transition away from active competition. And as I saw that, I thought my heart was just so filled with excitement that this kind of support was being offered to athletes, because when I was an athlete, that was not available for me. And it definitely was a very painful transition for me away from active competition. And so I thought, as I was thinking, how many life changes have there been, even before that, right from the time we were young. The change from being at home with mom and dad and siblings, and then going off to kindergarten or school. So many life changes happen. And, some of them are very, very painful. And I know from my own experience, the most painful ones were the ones where I resisted. I resisted the change. And, even when I saw it was coming, I felt it was coming. There's a change coming. And, fear would come up and all kinds of emotions, which made it even harder to go through that life change, because, the life change is calling for us to serve in a new way. And it wasn't actually until I met Dr. and Master Zhi Gang Sha that I really got to understand that more, and what that serving in a different way could mean. So I'd like to ask you, Monique, what has been your experience with life changes?
Yeah, thank you, Cynthia, and welcome everyone. So those who know me or those who don't know me, I'm a clinical counselor. And actually, one of the major changes was during COVID. And, I had to basically close my active practice in person to go online. And that was not an easy transition from being, in the same space. People like the presence of a counselor. It's warm, it's compassionate. And then I had to go online. That was quite a big change for me. And so, when I met and then went deeper in the teachings of compassion, that's when I realized, wow, that's something that we need to spread. What is truly compassion? And Master Sha teaches that survey, greatest compassion. And so, from that perspective, what it changed in me with greatest compassion is I realized I was so nervous, I was anxious, and that anxiety was actually blocking me. So when I opened my heart to compassion, I was able to relax, to breathe, and redirect my service in a new way. And compassion also helped me become kinder with myself. It kind of tamed down a very strong critical voice in me. How am I going to do this? I can't do that. And the critic, my inner critic, received so much love from compassion that it began to transform. And I also became less judgmental. I realized my critic was not only critical of me, but sometimes critical of others, and it created impatience. And so compassion is love in action. And so it gave me so many more tools. So what about you? What about you? Um, how has, compassion helped you, Cynthia?
Well, I could share a more recent example of when compassion helped me. And I'm on a research team, and I was asked to prepare a grant application for a major grant agency. And when that request came to me, it was, all that mind stuff started to happen. I've never done this before, and not only that, but this major granting agency has reduced the number of already small number of grants that they approve each year. And I don't have an affiliation with a university at this time, and that's sort of, that self-talk started happening. And then I remembered to go into a practice. I went into a practice, and all of that self-talk kind of slowed right down.
Yeah.
And the idea came, well, maybe it's time to get a university appointment.
Yes.
And then my mind started saying, how am I going to get a university appointment? And then practice again. And what happened? An idea of how this could happen. And I submitted an application to become an external researcher, and it was approved. And all of a sudden, one of the things that my mind was saying to me, well, you don't have a university, that one was out of the way. And it just kind of smoothed the way forward. Other things happened. And one thing led to another. But in all, what it meant was I could serve in a new and a bigger way. And it's continuing to unfold. A new opportunity to serve at a TEDx event has also opened because of that appointment. So it's just amazing.
Well, thank you for sharing that and congratulations for the transformation. So, in the workshop, what people can expect is that to observe and be aware of the life changes. Sometimes life goes on, we're so busy, we don't really realize we are in a major change. And to observe and be with the thoughts, like you mentioned, oh, I don't have a university degree. How am I supposed to do this? Observe the thoughts and the emotion. And we will be also going deeper at the soul level, what your soul really wants to do. Your soul has a desire to serve, your soul has a desire to fulfill your life in a new way. So, in that workshop, we will also offer practice that we will share today, a short practice, mini readings, and permanent treasures. Permanent treasures for compassion, permanent treasures to transform those emotions that are blocking. So, how about we do a sample of a practice together? So, what is a practice? And Master Sha has created calligraphy. What is a calligraphy? A calligraphy is an ancient art. It's a beautiful art. And thousands of years ago, 5,000 years ago, calligraphy was a way to connect and receive guidance from another dimension. And so when Master Sha writes a calligraphy, he connects with the source, a higher dimension, and he, like Tao's source, or the quantum field of all possibilities, Tao pours into the calligraphy a message. And the message in this calligraphy in Mandarin is that Zhi, greatest compassion. So when you receive a blessing or you practice with the calligraphy that Zhi, greatest compassion, you become compassion. What you trace is what you become. What you say is what you become. So we will be connecting with the soul of greatest compassion. Right now, I invite you to connect with the soul of greatest compassion. And how we do that is we connect with a light being, a saint, a soul of greatest compassion. You know, sometimes you may have known a grandmother, a grandparent, a friend, a mentor that had so much compassion and it helped you. So it's a higher being with wisdom. So we connect. And then we can use our 5 fingers or one finger, it doesn't matter. I'll use my 5 fingers because they connect with many parts in my body. And I start tracing. But before we do that, the tracing, please make a request. If you want to transform a relationship that has changed, if you want to transform your grief, the grief of a lost one, if you want to transform a health condition that is affecting your life, that's a change. An illness, you heard about an illness, or the aging process of feeling our brain not as clear. So you may make a request for your brain, make a request for a relationship, for your finances. Choose one. And deep in your heart, we say, Dear calligraphy, greatest compassion, I love you. Please help me through the change. Please help me transform the negativity, the grief, the sadness, the worry, the fear, the anger, my brain, my heart, as appropriate. Thank you. And we will chant greatest compassion. So let's begin. I trace for you and for your request. Greatest compassion, 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 greatest compassion. Heal my request. Connect with greatest compassion. Heal my request. Heal my request as appropriate. And we close by saying, Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, in the workshop, you will also have an opportunity to receive mini readings and to receive a permanent treasure, as I explained, either for the emotional blockages or to help you to move through life challenges with ease, with confidence, and also to find a new way to serve with your wisdom, with your skills. So I welcome back Cynthia. So
Thank you
happy.
so much. My heart feels lighter after that short practice. And can you imagine 2 full hours in the field of the greatest compassion?
Yes. Now people can register. The registration link will be posted on Facebook, Instagram, and other means. It's only a very small fee for a 2 hour workshop with us and in the field of greatest compassion. Join us. It's an invitation. See you next Tuesday, 5 to 7 p.m. Pacific time or 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern time. See you then.